Captain Alex Mercer stood on the bridge of the starship Endeavour, staring out at the vibrant colors of the new planet below. It was a world unlike any he had ever seen, filled with lush green forests, towering mountains, and shimmering oceans. As the leader of this expedition, he felt a mix of excitement and responsibility. This was humanity's chance to make contact with another intelligent species, and he wanted to make a good impression. With his crew by his side, Alex had set out to explore the unknown, hoping to establish peaceful relations and learn about the mysteries of the universe. After landing, the crew disembarked, their hearts racing with anticipation. They were greeted by a group of towering aliens, their skin glistening under the sunlight, and their eyes shimmering like precious gems. The aliens were known as the Valorians, a highly advanced species with a rich history. As Alex approached, he noticed their leader, the Empress, standing at the forefront. She was breathtaking, adorned in a flowing gown that seemed to blend with the colors of the planet. Her presence radiated power and grace, commanding respect from all who surrounded her. When the Empress locked eyes with Alex, something extraordinary happened. Instead of standing tall and proud, she suddenly bowed deeply before him. The sudden silence in the air was palpable. Alex's heart raced, confusion washing over him. Why would a powerful ruler bow to him, a mere human? He exchanged glances with his crew, who looked equally astonished. Whispers filled the air, and the weight of the situation began to sink in. The Valorians were known for their deep traditions and rituals, and Alex felt the significance of this moment. He could see the mix of emotions on the faces of the aliens. Around him, curiosity, reverence, and even fear. The Empress's gesture was not just a sign of respect. It was something deeper, something that hinted at a connection between their species that he could not yet understand. Alex felt a surge of warmth and pride, but it was quickly overshadowed by uncertainty. What could this mean for humanity? The legends of the Valorians speak of a human champion destined to bring peace to the galaxy. He shook his head, trying to dismiss the grand ideas swirling in his mind. He was just an explorer, a captain leading his crew into the unknown. Yet the weight of the Empress's bow felt like a heavy mantle on his shoulders as the Empress straightened. Her eyes met Alex's once more. There was a flicker of something unexplainable, a mixture of hope and expectation. Her gaze held a promise, as if she believed that Alex was more than just a visitor. It was in that moment that Alex realized the true significance of this encounter. He wasn't just here to explore. It was part of something greater, a puzzle waiting to be solved. Feeling a sense of determination rising within him, Alex stepped forward, his heart pounding. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside him. "I come in peace. We wish to learn from each other and build a future together." The words felt right. Echoing the hopes of his crew and the dreams of all humanity, the Empress regarded him with a mixture of surprise and admiration. The air was thick with tension and possibility. Alex took a deep breath, knowing that this was only the beginning of an extraordinary journey. A journey that would challenge everything he thought he knew about himself, humanity, and the universe. The mystery of the Empress's bow loomed before him, a question that begged to be answered. Alex was determined to uncover the truth, no matter where it would lead him. This paragraph captures the essence of the first part of the story, setting the stage for Alex's journey and emphasizing the emotional weight of his encounter with the Empress. After the astonishing encounter with the Empress, Captain Alex Mercer felt a whirlwind of emotions. The bow of the Empress lingered in his mind, igniting a spark of curiosity and a sense of responsibility. As he returned to the Endeavour, he knew he had to understand what had happened. Why did the Empress bow? What did it mean for him and humanity? He gathered his crew, and together, they began their investigation into the mysteries of the Valorian culture. The crew members were buzzing with excitement, their voices filled with questions. "What if she thinks you're a god?" one of the engineers joked, trying to lighten the mood. But Alex didn't laugh. He felt the weight of the Empress's action pressing on his shoulders. This was not a game. This was real, and the fate of their mission depended on it. Determined to get answers, Alex sought out the Valorian historians who had gathered in the grand hall of the palace. The hall was magnificent, with walls adorned with intricate carvings that told stories of their ancestors. As he entered, the historians stared at him with a mix of awe and skepticism. They had witnessed the Empress's bow, and now they were eager to hear what Alex had to say. With a steady voice, Alex introduced himself and expressed his desire to learn about their legends and history. "I need to understand why your Empress bowed to me. What does it mean?" he asked, his eyes scanning the faces of the historians. Searching for clues, an elderly historian stepped forward, her silver hair flowing like a waterfall. "It is said that long ago, a human would come to our world and bring balance to our people," she explained, her voice filled with reverence. "This human would unite the races and lead us to a brighter future. You, Captain Mercer, are believed to be that human." Alex felt a chill run down his spine as her words sank in. Could he really be the one foretold in their legends? The thought was both thrilling and terrifying. He had always seen himself as an ordinary person, but here he was, standing at the center of a prophecy. The weight of expectation was heavy, and he felt a mix of excitement and fear. As the historians shared more tales, Alex listened intently. They spoke of ancient times when the Valorians faced great challenges and how they had long awaited a champion to help them. "Your arrival is seen as a sign," another historian added, their eyes shining with hope. "You must embrace this. Roll to help us unite our people." Alex's heart raced as he absorbed this information. What if he could help them? What if he could bring about change? The idea was intoxicating, but it also filled him with doubt. He was just a human explorer, not a leader or a warrior. Yet, the hope in the eyes of the historians stirred something deep within him. Perhaps he could rise to the occasion. After the meeting, the Empress summoned Alex once more. She was seated on her throne, her expression serious yet warm. "Captain Mercer," she began, her voice smooth like silk, "I understand you seek answers. Our people are in turmoil, and I believe you may hold the key to our salvation." Alex's heart pounded in his chest. "Your Majesty, I want to help, but I don't know how," he admitted, feeling vulnerable. The Empress leaned forward, her gaze piercing yet understanding. "You must show our people that unity is possible. You must be the bridge between our worlds." The weight of her words hung in the air. It was about forging a new path for two races. He felt a sense of purpose rising within him, filling him with determination. He wanted to be that bridge, to help unite their worlds, but he knew it would not be easy. As he left the Empress's chamber, Alex felt a renewed sense of hope. He would do everything in his power to honor the prophecy and the trust placed in him. The mystery of the Empress's bow had opened a door to a future filled with possibilities. With each step he took, he felt the weight of responsibility transform into a flame of ambition. The journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face whatever came next. This part delves into Alex's investigation, building the emotional stakes and deepening the mystery surrounding his connection to the Valorian prophecy. It captures his sense of duty and the challenges he faces as he navigates this new role. Captain Alex Mercer stood at the edge of the grand balcony, overlooking the beautiful landscape of Valoria. The colors of the sunset bathed the land in hues of orange and purple, and for a moment he felt a sense of peace. But deep down, he could not ignore the unease that had settled in his heart. The more he learned about the Valorian culture, the more he realized that not everyone welcomed his presence. Whispers of discontent echoed through the palace, and Alex could sense that danger lurked just beneath the surface. His discussions with the historians had opened his eyes to the rich traditions of the Valorian people. But they had also revealed a troubling truth. Not all factions agreed with the Empress's newfound respect for Alex. Some nobles were jealous and fearful of the attention he received, viewing him as a threat to their power. Alex couldn't shake the feeling that a storm was brewing, and he needed to tread carefully as he made his way through the palace corridors. He noticed hushed conversations and suspicious glances directed toward him. The tension in the air was thick, and Alex felt the weight of many eyes upon him. Sought out his trusted friend and first officer, Lieutenant Sarah Lee, hoping to share his concerns. "Sarah?" he said, his voice low. "I have a feeling that not everyone here is happy about my presence. We need to keep our guard up." Sarah nodded, her brow furrowing in concern. "I've sensed it too, Captain. There are factions within the court that might see you as a rival. We must be careful about who we trust." Together, they decided to investigate further, determined to uncover the truth behind the Empress's bow and the rising tensions within the palace. Later that evening, they attended a banquet held in honor of Alex and his crew. The grand hall was filled with laughter and music, but beneath the surface, Alex could feel the tension simmering. As he mingled with the guests, he caught snippets of conversations that hinted at a conspiracy brewing. "Against him? He is not one of us," one noble whispered, their voice filled with disdain. "Why should we trust a human?" Alex's heart sank. It was clear that some were not ready to embrace the possibility of unity. He exchanged uneasy glances with Sarah, who nodded in understanding. They needed to act quickly before the situation escalated. After the banquet, Alex and Sarah decided to sneak into the palace archives to search for information on the noble families and their history. They hoped to find clues about the factions that opposed the Empress and their motives. The archives were dark and musty, filled with ancient scrolls and tomes that held the secrets of the Valorian past. They stumbled upon a hidden section discussing a powerful noble family known as the Dracarians. "Look at this," Sarah said, pointing to a page that detailed the Dracarians' past. They were once the ruling family before the Empress took power. They lost everything and have been seeking revenge ever since. The realization hit Alex like a bolt of lightning. The Dracarians were the ones stirring trouble. Using his presence as a way to undermine the Empress's authority, suddenly they heard footsteps approaching. Panic surged through Alex as he quickly tucked the scrolls away. "We need to hide," he whispered urgently. They ducked behind a large shelf, just as a group of nobles entered the room. Their voices low and conspiratorial. "I say we strike while we can," one noble hissed. "That human is a pawn in the Empress's game. If we can expose him, we can reclaim our power." Alex's heart raced as he listened. The plot was deeper than he had imagined. They were planning to use him as a scapegoat to regain control over the planet. Once the nobles left, Alex and Sarah exchanged worried glances. "We have to warn the Empress," Alex said, determination filling his voice. "We cannot let them use me against her." They hurried out of the archives, their minds racing with the urgency of their discovery. As they approached the Empress's chambers, Alex felt a mix of anxiety and resolve. He knew that revealing the conspiracy would put him in danger, but he also understood that the only way to protect the Empress and the future of the Valorian people was to confront the truth. He took a deep breath and knocked on the door, ready to share what they had uncovered. The Empress opened the door, her expression shifting from surprise to concern as she saw the urgency in Alex's eyes. "What is it, Captain?" she asked, sensing the gravity of the moment. "Your Majesty, we need to talk. There's a plot against you, and I believe the Dracarians are behind it. They see me as a threat, and they plan to use that against you," Alex explained, his heart racing as he spoke. The Empress listened intently, her eyes narrowing as she absorbed the information. In that moment, Alex felt a surge of determination. He realized that he was not just an outsider in this conflict. He was part of something much bigger. Together, they could face the challenges ahead and protect the fragile peace they had begun to build. The shadows of conspiracy loomed large. But Alex was ready to fight for the future of both humanity and the Valorian people. This part delves into the growing tension within the palace, revealing the conspiracy against Alex and the Empress, emphasizing Alex's determination to protect their alliance. It captures the emotional stakes and sets the stage for the challenges they will face together. The air in the palace was electric as Captain Alex Mercer stood beside the Empress, both aware of the mounting tensions and the looming threat from the Dracarians. The conspiracy against them weighed heavily on their minds, and Alex felt a sense of urgency. To secure the future of both humanity and the Valorian people, they needed to prove their strength and unity. "We must show our people that we are united," Alex said, determination shining in his eyes. We can't let fear divide us. Empress nodded, her expression resolute. Then we shall hold trials. They will test our strengths and our trust in one another. The people need to see that we are not enemies. We are allies. The idea resonated deeply with Alex. It was a chance to solidify their bond and demonstrate that together. They were stronger than anyone could imagine. The trials were announced the next day, and excitement rippled through the palace. Nobles, warriors, and commoners gathered to witness the event. The grand arena, filled with vibrant banners and eager spectators, came alive with energy. Alex could see the mixture of hope and skepticism in the eyes of the crowd. They were eager to see if this human could indeed stand alongside their empress. The first trial was a test of strength, where Alex would face a renowned Valorian warrior known as Corin. He was tall and muscular, with a fierce reputation that preceded him. As they faced each other in the arena, Alex felt a wave of anxiety wash over him. He was not a warrior, he was an explorer, and the weight of the expectation was heavy. He remembered the Empress's words and the hope they were trying to inspire. As the signal was given, Corin charged at him, fierce and powerful. Alex dodged just in time, using his agility to evade the warrior's attacks. The crowd gasped. Surprised by his quick movements, he realized that he could not rely solely on strength. He had to think strategically. With every move, he focused on Corin's patterns, waiting for the right moment to counterattack. Finally, after a fierce exchange, Alex found an opening. He managed to trip Corin, sending the warrior tumbling to the ground. The arena erupted in cheers, and for the first time, Alex felt a spark of confidence. He had proven that he could stand toe-to-toe with a Valorian warrior. And maybe, just maybe, he could earn their respect. The second trial was one of strategy and negotiation. Alex and the Empress faced off against a council of nobles, including some from the opposing factions. They had to come together to solve a complex problem that affected both their people. Tension filled the room as the nobles argued, their voices rising in anger. Alex could feel the weight of the moment. This was not just a test of skill, it was a chance to show that unity could overcome division. With the Empress by his side, Alex took a deep breath and spoke. We must work together to find a solution. Our differences can make us stronger if we combine our strengths. His voice was steady, and he could see the Empress nodding in agreement. Slowly, the nobles began to quiet down their attention. Turning to the two leaders as the discussion unfolded, Alex listened carefully, drawing on his experiences as a negotiator. He suggested compromises that would benefit both sides, and gradually, the atmosphere shifted. The nobles began to see the potential for collaboration, and for the first time, they were engaging in productive dialogue. By the end of the trial, they had reached a consensus, and the Empress smiled at Alex, pride shining in her eyes. The final trial was the most challenging, a test of trust. Alex faced a group of Valorian warriors who would blindfold him and ask him to navigate a maze, relying solely on their instructions. It was a metaphor for the trust they had to build together. As the blindfold went over his eyes, the world around him faded into darkness. Trust us, Captain, the warrior's voice echoed. We will guide you. With every step, Alex felt vulnerable. The fear of failure gnawed at him, but he reminded himself of the bond he was forming with the Empress and the Valorian people. He had to trust them, just as they were learning to trust him. Guided by their voices, he navigated the maze, stumbling at times but always finding his way back with their encouragement. Finally, as he reached the end, the blindfold was removed, and the warriors were smiling. They had seen his determination and willingness to trust them, and in that moment bonds were forged. As the trials concluded, a crowd erupted in applause, and Alex stood beside the Empress, feeling a sense of accomplishment. They had faced challenges together and emerged stronger. The trials had not only tested their skills, but also their commitment to one another. Alex realized that he was no longer just an outsider. He had become part of something much greater, a united front against the threats they faced in that moment. Ace turned to him, her eyes shining with hope. You have proven yourself, Captain. Together, we can face whatever comes next. Alex nodded, feeling a deep sense of purpose. The journey ahead would be filled with challenges, but he was ready to stand by her side, committed to protecting their alliance and forging a brighter future for both their worlds. This part highlights the trials Alex faces, emphasizing the themes of trust, unity, and personal growth. It showcases his determination to prove himself and build a strong bond with the Empress and the Valorian people. The atmosphere in the palace was thick with anticipation as Captain Alex Mercer stood beside Empress Alara after the successful trials. They had built a fragile bond of trust with the Valorian people, but Alex knew that the true challenge was yet to come. Whispers of the Dracarians still echoed through the halls, and a sense of unease lingered in the air. He felt a deep responsibility to protect not only the Empress but also the future of both worlds. One evening, after a long day of meetings and discussions, Alex found himself alone in the palace gardens, seeking solace amidst the vibrant flowers and lush greenery. The beauty of the garden was a stark contrast to the turmoil he felt inside. He gazed up at the stars, wondering how far humanity had come and how much further they needed to go. Just then, Empress Alara joined him, her presence calming his racing thoughts. "Captain Mercer," she said softly, her voice like a gentle breeze. "You have earned the respect of many here, but I sense there is still a part of you that feels uncertain." Alex sighed, grateful for her insight. "Your Majesty, I appreciate your faith in me, but I can't shake the feeling that danger is still lurking. The Dracarians won't give up easily." Alara nodded, her expression serious. "You are right. They will not rest until they reclaim their power, but there is more to this than meets the eye." With those words, she gestured for Alex to follow her deeper into the garden. They walked until they reached a secluded area, where the moonlight illuminated an ancient stone pedestal covered in intricate carvings. "This," she said, her voice filled with reverence, "is the key of unity. It holds the history of our people and the legends that bind us." Alex leaned closer, intrigued by the mysterious artifact. "What does it reveal?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. Alara took a deep breath and began to explain. "Long ago, our ancestors faced a great threat, much like the one we face now. They created this key to symbolize their commitment to unity. It is said that when a true champion appears, the key reveals its secrets, showing the path forward." Alex's heart raced. "Are you saying that I could be that champion?" he asked, disbelief mingling with hope. Alara looked deep into his eyes, her gaze unwavering. "Yes, Captain. The legends speak of a human who would bring balance to our worlds. I believe you are that person, but you must be willing to embrace your destiny." In that moment, the weight of her words sank in. Alex felt a surge of emotions, fear, excitement, and an overwhelming sense of purpose. He had always thought of himself as an ordinary man, an explorer seeking new worlds. But now he was being asked to become a leader, a symbol of hope for two races. As Alara placed her hand on the pedestal, the carvings began to glow softly, illuminating the night. "Together, we can awaken the power of the key of unity," she said, her voice steady. "But it requires trust and courage from both of us." Alex nodded, feeling a deep connection to the Empress and the mission they were about to embark on. "I will do whatever it takes," he vowed, determination flooding his heart. "We must stand united against the Dracarians. I won't let fear hold us back." With a shared understanding, they began to explore the carvings on the pedestal, uncovering the history of their people's struggles and victories. The stories woven into the stones spoke of alliances forged in battle, of sacrifices made for the greater good, and of the strength found in unity. Each tale ignited a fire within Alex, reminding him of why he had come to this world in the first place, as they deciphered the symbols. Alex felt a sense of empowerment wash over him. He began to see himself not just as a human among aliens, but as a vital part of a grand tapestry that spanned the galaxy. His heart swelled with hope for what they could achieve together, but just as they were uncovering the last of the key's secrets, a sudden noise broke the tranquility of the night. Alex's instincts kicked in, and he turned to see shadows moving. "In the distance, we have company," he whispered urgently, gripping Alara's arm. The moment was shattered, and they realized that the Drakarians were already making their move. "Quick, we must hide," Alara urged, panic rising in her voice. Together, they slipped into the shadows, their hearts racing. Alex's mind was racing with thoughts of how to protect the Empress and the knowledge they had just uncovered. He knew that the revelation of the Key of Unity must remain a secret until the time was right. As they crouched behind a large bush, Alex felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but he was determined to protect Alara and their dream of unity. The revelation of his role as a champion had ignited something within him, a fierce determination to fight for what was right, no matter the cost. In that moment, Alex realized that he was not just an explorer anymore. He was a protector, a leader, and a beacon of hope. As they waited in silence, he vowed to stand firm against the darkness that threatened to engulf them, ready to embrace his destiny and the challenges that lay ahead. This part highlights the emotional journey of Alex as he discovers his potential, role in the prophecy, and the urgency of the situation with the Drakarians. Captures the themes of destiny, unity, and the weight of responsibility he feels as he steps into his new role. The sun rose over the palace, casting a warm golden light across the land of Valoria. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the balcony of the Empress's chamber, his heart filled with a mix of hope and resolve. The battle with the Drakarians had ended not in bloodshed but in a fragile alliance. Kellen, the once fierce commander, now stood beside Empress Alara, and together they had begun to build a new future. As Alex looked out at the vibrant colors of the dawn, he felt a sense of pride swell within him. The people of Valoria were beginning to understand that unity was their greatest strength. The cheers of their warriors still echoed in his mind, a reminder of the moment they had chosen to stand together instead of fighting against each other. It was a turning point, one that would shape the future for both their species. Alara joined him on the balcony, her presence radiating warmth and confidence. "Today marks the beginning of a new era," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "We will hold a ceremony to celebrate our alliance and the promise of peace." Alex nodded, feeling a deep sense of purpose. They had come so far, and now it was time to solidify their commitment to one another. As the day unfolded, the palace buzzed with activity. Preparations were underway for the ceremony that would unite humans and Valorians. Alex watched as both species worked side by side, decorating the grand hall with flowers and banners that symbolized their newfound alliance. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and excitement, a stark contrast to the tension that had once filled the palace. When the time for the ceremony arrived, Alex stood beside Alara and Kellen at the front of the grand hall. The hall was adorned with beautiful decorations, and the air was thick with anticipation. Representatives from both species filled the space, their faces reflecting a mixture of hope and uncertainty. As Alex looked out at the crowd, he felt a rush of emotions. "We gather here today not as enemies, but as allies," Alara began, her voice steady and strong. "Together, we will forge a future where our peoples can thrive side by side." She reached for Alex's hand, and he felt the warmth of her touch. It was a symbol of their bond, a promise that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead together. Kellen stepped forward next, his expression serious yet hopeful. "The path to unity will not always be easy," he said, his voice resonating through the hall, "but with courage and trust, we can overcome any obstacle. Today, we choose to stand together." The crowd erupted in applause, and Alex felt a surge of hope wash over him. As the ceremony continued, Alex took a moment to reflect on his journey. He had come to Valoria as an explorer, but he had become something much more. He had found purpose, friendship, and a place where he truly belonged. The Empress and Kellen had become his allies. Together, they were shaping a future filled with promise. After the speeches, it was time for the symbolic act of unity. Alex and Alara approached. The pedestal that held the Key of Unity, the ancient artifact that had sparked their journey. As they placed their hands on the key, a soft light radiated from it, illuminating the entire hall. The crowd gasped in awe, and Alex felt a deep connection to the moment. This was more than just a ceremony. It was a commitment to a shared future. As the light enveloped them, Alex looked into Alara's eyes, seeing the determination and hope reflected back at him. "Together we will write a new story," he whispered. Knowing that they would face the challenges ahead with courage and strength, the ceremony concluded with a celebration, filled with music, laughter, and joy. Humans and Valorians danced, together, sharing stories and forging bonds that would last a lifetime. Alex joined in the festivities, feeling a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of unity. As the night wore on, Alex found himself standing outside the palace, gazing up at the stars. The vastness of the galaxy stretched out before him, filled with possibilities. He had arrived on Valoria as an outsider, but now he was part of something much larger, a new alliance that could change the course of history. In that moment, he understood the true meaning of the Empress's bow. It had not been a gesture of submission, but a recognition of potential. Together, they had the power to create a future where both their peoples could thrive. Alex felt a sense of peace wash over him as he realized that their journey was just beginning. With the Empress and Kellen by his side, he was ready to face whatever came next. The mysteries of the universe still awaited them, and together they would explore new worlds, forge new alliances, and stand strong against any challenges that lay ahead. As he turned to rejoin the celebration, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was not just the end of a battle. It was the beginning of a magnificent adventure, a journey of unity, hope, and endless possibilities. This final part emphasizes the themes of unity, hope, and new beginnings. It captures the emotional resolution of Alex's journey and the promise of a brighter future for both humanity and the Valorian people. The night air was thick with tension as Captain Alex Mercer and Empress Alara crouched in the shadows of the garden. The distant sounds of approaching footsteps echoed through the palace grounds, sending waves of anxiety through Alex's body. The Drakarians had come, and they were not to be underestimated. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as he turned to Alara, her face pale yet determined. "We need to warn the guards and prepare for an attack," he whispered urgently. Alara nodded, her expression fierce and resolute. "We cannot let them take what we have just discovered. The key of unity must remain hidden until the time is right." With a shared understanding, they slipped deeper into the shadows, making their way toward the palace entrance. Alex's heart raced as he thought of the responsibility resting on their shoulders. They had to protect their people and the fragile alliance they had begun to build. As they reached the palace doors, they quickly alerted the guards stationed there. "Prepare for an attack," Alex commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos swirling in his mind. The guards, recognizing the urgency in his tone, sprang into action. Rallying their forces and arming themselves for the impending confrontation, moments later, the palace shook with the sound of battle. The Drakarians, led by their fierce commander, Kellen, had made their move. The clash of metal and the cries of warriors filled the air as the two factions collided. Alex felt a surge of determination. He had to stand alongside Alara and defend their home. "We must fight together," he said, gripping his weapon tightly. The Empress stood beside him, her eyes blazing with courage. As the battle raged on, Alex fought valiantly, drawing on the skills he had honed during the trials. He maneuvered through the chaos, helping to defend the Empress and protect the palace. Every time he struck down an enemy, he felt a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the future of Lazing. Their worlds, in the midst of the battle, Alex caught sight of Kellen, the Drakarian commander, who was pushing through the ranks with ruthless determination. Kellen's eyes burned with anger as he sought to confront the Empress. Alex's heart raced. He knew he had to stop him. "I'll handle him," he shouted to Alara, determination fueling his every step. As Alex charged toward Kellen, he felt a surge of energy coursing through him. The Drakarian was a formidable opponent, and their clash sent shockwaves through the battlefield. Kellen's strikes were powerful, and Alex had to rely on his agility and quick thinking to evade them. The fight was intense, and for a moment, Alex doubted himself. Could he really stand against such a fierce warrior? But then he remembered the Empress standing behind him, the hope of their people resting on his shoulders. Renewed determination, he launched a series of swift attacks, keeping Kellen on the defensive. "You fight for a lost cause," Kellen growled, his voice filled with rage. "You will never unite our worlds." "Maybe not alone," Alex replied, breathless but unyielding. "But united, we can overcome anything." With a final surge of strength, Alex disarmed Kellen, sending his weapon flying. The commander, Stobbard, had expender. That was with Surgeon. The Wayne was was were Back, shock written across his face. Alex seized the moment, standing tall before him. "It's time to end this fight. Join us for the future of our worlds." Kellen's expression shifted from anger to confusion as he weighed his options. The battle around them was still raging, but Alex's words hung in the air. He could see the struggle within Kellen, and for a moment, the two men stood in a tense silence, both aware of the weight of their choices. Meanwhile, Lara fought fiercely alongside her warriors, rallying them with her courage and determination. She had seen the potential for unity between their peoples, and she refused to let the Dracarians destroy it. With every strike, she inspired her soldiers, reminding them of the strength that lay in their alliance with Alex. As the battle continued, Alex felt a shift in the air. The warriors on both sides began to notice their leader's confrontation. The fighting slowed and an uneasy quiet fell over the battlefield. Alex seized the moment, turning to the assembled warriors. "We can fight forever, or we can choose to stand together," shouted, his voice ringing with conviction. "The key of unity shows us that our strength lies in cooperation, not division." The words resonated with those around him, and slowly, warriors from both sides began to lower their weapons. Kellen looked at Alex, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. In that moment, Alex knew they had the chance to change everything. He extended his hand, a gesture of peace amidst the chaos. "Let us end this conflict," Alex urged. "Together, we can create a future where both our peoples thrive. It's time to break the cycle of hatred." After a tense moment, Kellen took a deep breath and stepped forward. Reluctantly, he extended his hand, sealing the first step toward peace. The crowd held its breath, watching as two warriors from different worlds began to forge a new path together. As the realization of unity washed over the battlefield, cheers erupted from the warriors. The seeds of hope had been planted, and in that moment, Alex felt a profound sense of purpose. They had faced the darkness together and emerged stronger. But the journey was far from over. They still had to confront the challenges ahead and ensure that the unity they had forged would last. With Alara and Kellen at his side, Alex knew that together they could face whatever lay ahead, united in their quest for peace. This part emphasizes the intensity of the battle, the emotional stakes for Alex and Alara, and the potential for unity. Amidst conflict, showcases Alex's growth as a leader and his determination to protect the future of both races.